All right, everybody, welcome back. So it's been a while, right? I'm here. Going to get this going again with Your Legacy Live. Plan to be here every Tuesday morning, as I was previously. It's been a couple months. Some things been going on. Maybe I just been lazy. Anyways, glad to be here. I love doing this. I love talking with you and hearing what your thoughts are on the different topics we talk about, and hopefully you get something out of this today. Something that's been on my mind lately is stress and working through stress in all manners of life, business, family, physical stress, some self-inflicted, and we'll chat about that a little bit. But anyways, just wanted to talk a little bit about these things, some of the things I've been reading about, researching, and I'd love to hear what your thoughts are, and hopefully we can learn something together. So remember, please feel free to even if you're watching this later, after I'm done here being live, jump on the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you've learned, and ask questions, and we can chat about it. All right. So let's go ahead and get rolling. Okay. Yeah, like I was saying, stress, problems, been showing up a lot. As business owners, if you're a business owner, there's a lot going on there. There's a lot of people who are relying on you. You've got and maybe you have employees or contractors who you pay. They're relying on you to bring in business so you can afford to pay them and their families. Your own family's relying on you, right? For bringing home the money, for bringing home and creating security for them, providing a roof over their head, food on the tables, all right? As a parent, as a spouse, there's certain stresses as your family members have certain expectations of you, or whether they're self-inflicted by you and the expectations you set for yourself, or the lifestyle or the support you would like to provide them, both emotionally or physically or monetarily, right? Or maybe they are the expectations that they've set as you've discussed how you're going to live your lives together and work as a partners. So oftentimes meeting those expectations can cause stress and trying to strive for that, especially when we may feel that we're failing. Other stresses that we put on ourselves, I know health and well-being is important to a lot of us. That can cause a lot of stress in our lives. As far as self-inflicted, if you're working out, if you're running, if you're mountain biking, if you're lifting weights, doing CrossFit, doing yoga, whatever it is, right? You're intentionally inflicting stress upon yourself and upon your body and your systems within your body in order to achieve a certain outcome, right? And I think this is key, and this is where we really find that a true definition of stress. There's a doctor, I'm trying to remember his name. His book was like The Stress of Life or something like that. It starts with an S. It's like Sely. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Anyways, it's Sely. I think there's an E at the end as well. But he said that stress is the common denominator of all adaptive reactions in the body. Okay, those are both emotional, physical, spiritual, all the different stresses that go in. The stress is that common denominator that's available, that's part of all of the adaptive reactions. So I think that's key here, and this is what's really come to my mind and really helped me work through the different stresses I've been going through in my business and my family. Our family's constantly growing. That never slows down. They're getting older, they're moving through different phases of life. Our oldest just got married. That brings a whole nother load of stress on me as a father, just knowing how difficult and stressful life can be, and anticipating what he and his bride are going to be experiencing in life, and excited for them, primarily excited for the different steps they'll take, and kind of those outcomes, working through that stress, the stressors of life, and what is available to them and potential for them on the other side of this of these different stressful experiences we go through. So again, it's that adaptive change, right? We're all looking to improve. We all want to be better tomorrow than we are today, whether that's physically stronger, so we go to the gym, put our muscles through incredible stress in order to encourage your body to repair, and then not just repair, not just get recover to where you were before you started the workout, right? That's the first part of that recovery process with working out and lifting weights, right? Your body's going to recover to a point to where you are where you were before you started the workout, but you're hoping that it overcompensates and starts to build and become stronger, and to adapt to that stress that you put it through so that it can handle that same stress better next time. So the next time you go back and do the same workout, you anticipate or hope that you will be stronger, and you'll have to do more reps, or you'll have to increase the weight by a certain percentage in order to inflict the same amount of stress again and intensity on your muscles, to promote and to encourage additional growth as you move through those different goals you have for your physical body, right? Same goes for us in our businesses and emotionally, right? Stress and problems, I think, are just a part of life. And however, that doesn't mean you need to sit by passively and just let these things berate us from every side. Okay, it's not about suffering and being a victim and worrying about, oh, stress is just I'm just supposed to suffer, right? It's not, right? We're here to grow, and we can have joy and we can have peace, but it doesn't come from a stress-free life. Okay, it's that experience of trying to search for a stress-free life, a life without problems. I think in of itself, that goal or that journey or that pursuit in itself will be a negative experience, because it's not possible, right? There's always going to be problems. There's always going to be stresses on you. And if you have a right mindset, you're going to be okay with that. And the best way to approach this is to be intentional in choosing what problems you're coming into and what problems you're working through in your life. Obviously, you don't have control over all of the issues, right? You can't control everything that comes into your life, whether it be disease or illness or acts of somebody else, right? But what you can do is you can take responsibility for those activities. And what I mean by that is I'm not saying in our society, I think there's a misunderstanding of responsibility and guilt, or what am I trying to say? Being the cause, right? Being the root of that stress and that problem, right? Just because you didn't cause the problem, just because you're not, doesn't mean you can't be responsible for it and how you react to it and how you move through it, and such. But anyways, really, kind of what I was getting back to what I was saying about choosing the problems you're willing to go through and that you're going to inflict upon yourself. We do this every day by choosing what career path we're going to follow, right? If you choose to be an attorney, you're going to have certain problems. You're going to have problems of having to score well on the LSAT, right? You're going to have to get an undergraduate degree, because almost in every state in the U.S. you have to go to law school and graduate from accredited law school to become an attorney. Not every state. In California, you don't have to, but there's other problems you have to go through and to qualify for an attorney if you don't do the law school. Anyways, so choosing to be an attorney, you have certain problems you're going to work through. You want to be a welder, you have certain problems you have to work through, right? If you want to be a pro athlete or a concert pianist, right? A sociologist, whatever it is that you want to do in life, choosing that career path is going to naturally and rightfully, it's going to set you up to dealing with certain problems. Choosing a healthy lifestyle, want to be ripped and huge like a bodybuilder, you're going to have to deal with certain problems. The problems of spending time in the gym, getting up early maybe to be able to fit that workout in, right? You're going to have to learn how your body best reacts and recovers from workouts. Okay, you have that trial and error. You're going to have stresses of choosing to eat a certain way, right? Depending on what you want your physique to look like, you're going to have to choose to eat a different way than you would if you didn't care about your physique. So again, I think that's one way we can approach this and kind of reframe our mindset with stress is the fact that the stresses that we're going through, they're scary, they're hard, they hurt, Um, but they are what help us to grow, right? And help us to be stronger on the other side, become a better person. And that's the potential, right? I mean, it's up to us how we react to it and how we take responsibility for these problems and these stressors in our life. But if we give ourselves the time and give ourselves the permission to struggle through the stress and to accept it as part of, hey, this is what we're going through right now, it doesn't have to steal the joy from our lives, right? It doesn't have to keep us from being happy and looking towards, oh, as soon as this is over, as soon as I get through this, then I can be happy. No, that's not the way it is. It's okay to be okay with the problems you're dealing with. I believe. When we encounter these stresses, we often, stress first inflicts us, right? We get that alarm reaction. We kind of freak out and we're like, oh man, how am I going to get through this? How is life going to be better again? How is my business going to recover? But as we push through that resistance, and not just through brute strength, but also from learning by observing what's happening in our lives, what's contributing to these stressors, how can you improve and change and adapt to that stress to either accept it as part of your life going forward and being okay with it and making it and adapting to it so it doesn't cause that alarming reaction anymore, or it's conquering it and getting over it and no longer having to be fear it anymore, right? It's like doing these live streams, right? When we first started doing video, man, it's terrifying. Still is a little nerve-wracking, right? You can hear me kind of stumble every once in a while here and there, and it's not perfectly smooth. But it's not like it was at the first time I tried. And I've accepted it. It's something I want to do. And I know that it's going to, every time I go to click go live, I know I'm going to have those butterflies in my belly, and I'm going to worry about what anybody's thinking, or thinking to myself, no one's even listening. Why am I even doing this, right? So that's that stress of me wasting my time here talking to nobody. Anyways, so please, if you're listening or hear this, put a comment that you listen to help me know someone's listening. Anyways, validate that for me. Anyway, so that we can get through that, there is a stage in the stress process of exhaustion, and it's okay. I think one thing with this life that's incredible is that we don't have to do it alone. We have partners, we have friends, we have people who have gone through the same experiences, and it's okay to talk to them and to bring them into the issues. That's one thing I learned with the business, on the business side. Business is stressful. I'm at home, right in my home office. I'd walk across the driveway, go in the house, and my wife an hour or so later would be like, hey Todd, where are you? I'm like, I'm right here. And she's like, no, really, where are you? Like, you're not present. I found myself thinking about work, thinking about my clients, worrying about my clients. I care a lot about my clients. And I want them to be happy. I want them to feel like they're getting the value that they deserve from me, and the time and attention, and the results, right, that they're looking forward and engaging with me for. So that often is up here, and it stays up here, and it gets me thinking about them and trying to work through the issues we're working with. Anyways. So one way I dealt with that is to stop dealing with it myself, to kind of bring my wife into the conversation in my head, and my kids. Obviously, not specifically, right? As an attorney, I have certain responsibilities of confidentiality and respect to my clients. So I'm not sharing any confidential information, but just talking through it when I'm stressing about, what kind of marketing should I do? What's the next Facebook ad campaign I'm going to do? What's the next event? Where should I hold it? Instead of just sitting there sitting on the couch in the house or at the dinner table, thinking through these things, I talk about it out loud, and bring the family into it. Let them discuss it. Let's talk about, well, where would be a cool place to do an event? Should I? Where else can what else can we do? Where else can we do networking and things like that? So bringing others into the conversation in your head that the stressor and the problems are inducing. Bring them out to the open, right? Bring others into the conversation. Bring others in to help you solve whatever it is that the stressor is inflicting upon you. Because there's a likelihood they have a different perspective that can really help you adapt and change and work through these things. Anyways, obviously I'm not a psychologist. I'm not licensed for that, so I'm not speaking from some podium of expertise and experience and counseling with anybody. Just talking through what I've learned in my life, and the things that have helped me, and hopefully this has helped you a little bit. Again, not rejecting the stressors and fighting against them. See what you can learn from them. Take responsibilities for the problems in your life, and react to them in a way that's healthy, and that's going to allow you to still feel joy and happiness through the challenges you're facing, and help you become more resilient, so that you can be a better person for yourself. But also, more importantly, it'll help you become a stronger person for somebody else. So as other people are working through their own stressors and through their own problems in life, that you can be there for them, right? Just as other people are there for you, you need to be there for them. And as you grow and become stronger, you can support others through their issues and help them to find that joy, not after the trial, but through the trial, right? And during the trial, and during the stress and the problems they're facing. This is really kind of the things I wanted to talk about. Hopefully it helps. Again, just be a little more, I think we could all be a little more okay with being stressed and problems coming into our lives. Let others help you, and try to be intentional in the problems that you put yourself into. If something you're choosing to do is not going to get you where you want to be, and it's causing stress and difficulties and challenges in your life, like if you're planning on going to law school and you're stressing and working through getting good grades in college, or stressing or worrying about getting a good LSAT score or what school you're going to get to, and ultimately make sure that you really want to be a lawyer, right? So that you know that all these problems you're inviting in your life are worth it. That's just one example, right? If you're, just make sure that the things you're choosing and inviting into your life are truly going to be worth it on the other side as you work through them, and it's an adaptation that you truly do need to have in your life, right? And that it will help you towards your ultimate goals for you and your family. Anyways, comment, share. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully this kind of got us thinking about something helpful today. And I'll be here next week. So see you next Tuesday for Your Legacy Live, episode 24. I'll let you know what the topic is later.